These are the top 10 most romantic scenes ever put on screen, according to me anyway. 10. Before Sunrise, 1995. Before Sunrise is a romantic drama that captures a fleeting yet profound connection between two strangers, Jesse, an American traveler, and Celine, a French student. They meet on a train to Vienna and, struck by an instant bond, decide to spend the night wandering the city's streets together before Jesse's flight the next morning. As they explore Vienna, Jesse and Celine engage in deep conversations about life, love, dreams, and their fears, forming an intimate connection that transcends their brief time together. The film's minimalistic approach focuses on dialogue and chemistry, portraying the beauty of spontaneous human connection. Aware their time is limited, they forgo exchanging contact information, instead agreeing to meet at the same spot in 6 months. Before Sunrise is a poignant exploration of love, serendipity, and the impact of a single night, celebrated for its authenticity and emotional resonance. In the cable train, a modest enclosed train car moving uphill, Jesse and Celine delve into personal reflections while riding through Vienna, with a setting that allows their conversation to flow freely. Seated opposite each other, they begin exchanging thoughtful and probing questions, aiming to learn more about each other. Jesse asks Celine a personal question of her past desires of intimacy, and she expressively describes each and every detail of her crush, who was a good swimmer from when she was very young. She in turn gets the chance to ask the questions. She asks him a question, and his answer surprises her. For her philosophical question, which was asking to tell her what a problem was in his understanding, he instantly replies, "You," and scene ends as she lets out an unexpected and sudden shy laugh, and he follows with a giggle.
What's the problem for you?
You, bro.
What?
9. The Princess Diaries. 2. Royal Engagement, 2004. This is a charming romantic comedy and sequel that follows Mia Thermopolis as she prepares to become Queen of Genovia. Shortly after graduating from college, Mia discovers a law requiring her to marry within 30 days to ascend the throne. Under pressure, she agrees to an arranged engagement with Andrew, a nobleman she barely knows. As Mia navigates her royal duties, she finds herself drawn to Nicholas, a dashing but mischievous suitor with a claim to the throne. Their playful rivalry turns into an unexpected romance, complicating her plans. Guided by her wise grandmother, Queen Clarice, Mia learns the importance of following her heart while balancing her responsibilities. Ultimately, Mia modernizes the monarchy by abolishing the marriage law and choosing to rule as a single queen. The film celebrates independence, personal growth, and the power of self-determination, offering a feel-good fairy tale ending. In a scene where Mia and Nicholas sit under a tree at night, they are engaged in a finger game of catching the other's thumb with their one. As they play with their thumbs, they are talking about random things, which are truths about their fears, likes, comforts, and many other unrelated several secrets. In between the game, Nicholas mentions that he has never danced with her entire life, and she stops him and tells him that that is not a secret, rather a fact. He continues to say that it is still something he wants to do, and she smiles in a shy manner. In Moment of Love, they are holding hands and bodies close to each other. They start dancing in the foggy night to a song that Mia was singing with her ever so beautiful voice.
Love me tender, love me sweet.
The scene continues in the morning as they wake up under a tree, him lying on a pile of beddings, and her in his embrace and on his chest, comfortably breathing in unison. As she wakes up, she greets him with a good morning, and after playfully commenting that they stayed out for the whole night, as she turns to the pond, she notices a movement in a small canoe, and as she tries to see better, it was a man who was holding a video camera pointed at them. She then gets disappointed instantly and gets up from the ground. She blames Nicholas for the man with the camera, and he gets up behind her trying to explain and pretty confused of the scenario. She then gets on her horse and rides away, wishing him well. 8. 10 Things I Hate About You, 1999. This film is a modern romantic comedy inspired by Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. Set in a high school, it follows the story of two sisters with opposite personalities. Bianca, the younger and more popular sister, is eager to date, but can only do so if her older, sharp-tongued sister Kat also dates per their father's strict rule. To solve this dilemma, Bianca's suitor, Cameron, conspires with a wealthy classmate to pay Patrick, the school bad boy, to court Kat. Initially, Kat is resistant, but Patrick's persistence and genuine moments soften her. Their budding romance is tested when Kat discovers the setup. The film explores themes of identity, trust, and love's unpredictability through humor and heartfelt moments. Its witty dialogue, memorable characters, and iconic poem scene make it a beloved teen classic that transcends its high school setting. Patrick has found a way to bribe his way into the campus mini-media, and he has set the speakers to amplify, facing the playing field, where there were many students with their band instruments lying around and resting in the open field. As they sit there, a sound of a man singing without the help of any musical instruments materializes in the amplifiers. Patrick has lifted the mic and has started singing "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You" on the speakers. The students turn to listen one by one as he slides down a pole right outside the media room to step on an altar where everyone on the field could see him. Then, as he signals the band on the field, the band counts with a loud whistle alerting the members, and they suddenly start to play the instrumental intro of the song he was singing. The band erupts with various sounds of musical instruments celebrating, and Patrick, holding the mic and singing, starts to step down the long audience seat stair form. As he dramatically runs side to side on the stair seats, Kat is watching him with disbelief and surprise, smiling as he starts to approach her fashionably. The scene then continues as the campus police try to capture him. They were then caught in the funny drama of catching and releasing, as he kept singing with the help of the band on the field and the cheer from the students that were now watching the whole thing with extra excitement. The scene ends as the police run behind Patrick and him leading them out of the court with entertaining steps and jumps. 7. La La Land, 2016. The film follows the intertwined lives of Mia, an aspiring actress, and Sebastian, a dedicated jazz pianist, as they chase their dreams in Los Angeles. The film begins with a vibrant opening scene of a traffic jam, where the energy of the city's dreamers is captured in a lively musical number. Mia works as a barista on a film studio lot, attending auditions that often end in disappointment. Meanwhile, Sebastian struggles to stay true to his love of traditional jazz while playing mundane gigs, including a holiday-themed set at a restaurant. Their paths cross when Mia hears Sebastian playing a soulful piece after being fired for improvising, sparking her interest in him. As their romance blossoms, they inspire each other to pursue their passions. Mia writes a one-woman play, while Sebastian dreams of opening a jazz club. However, their relationship faces challenges when Sebastian joins a pop-oriented jazz band to secure financial stability, creating distance between them. Mia's play initially fails, but a casting agent attends, leading to her breakthrough audition. She lands a major role, while Sebastian opens his jazz club. In a dreamlike sequence, the film imagines an alternate reality where they stay together. Ultimately, the story ends with a bittersweet encounter years later, showing their successes but separate lives. In a scene where Mia and Sebastian share a moment of classic romance on the street by the light pole on a dimly lit night, Sebastian starts by singing a song and coming closer to Mia, holding his coat in one hand and fashionably keeping one hand in his pocket. She walks away in a softly dramatic manner and also engages in a musical conversation with him. They both move sound the street into the park and around the light poles, staying close to each other and singing words of love in romantic tones about the night, the feeling, and the mood in the air. Then Mia goes ahead and sits on a concrete bench that was placed purposefully in the park and starts to form melodious tunes, singing along with Sebastian, who is now a few feet away, standing facing the city that is seen stretched out in front of them in the distance. As the music escalates, he comes over to her and sits by her side in a dramatic manner, keeping his position slightly further away from her. Then they are engaged in dancing with their feet and hands, clapping and tapping in unison. Then they are lifted up by the increasing tempo and loud instrumentals that fill the night with exciting vibes. The move here and there, dancing and playing with their hands and feet. When they have moved around for a while and the music stops, they stand facing each other, sharing a moment when they were interrupted by the ringtone of an incoming call from her bag. She then runs over to get the call, ending the scene. 6. The Lucky One, 2012. The Lucky One is a romantic drama based on Nicholas Sparks' novel, following U.S. Marine Logan Thibault, who attributes his survival in combat to a photograph of a woman he found during a mission. After returning home, Logan becomes determined to find the woman in the picture, believing she is his good luck charm. His search leads him to Beth, a single mother in North Carolina who runs a dog kennel with her grandmother. Logan works at the kennel, forming a bond with Beth and her son, Ben, while keeping the photo's significance a secret. Their growing love is tested by Beth's controlling ex-husband, who complicates their lives. When the truth about the photo is revealed, it challenges their relationship, but ultimately strengthens their connection. The film explores themes of destiny, healing, and love's ability to provide solace and renewal in the aftermath of trauma. After tension and misunderstanding, Beth learns the truth about Logan's connection to her late brother, Drake, through the photo he carried during his deployment. Initially hurt, Beth realizes Logan's intentions are pure, and his presence has been a source of healing and love for her and her son, Ben. In a quiet, emotional moment at Beth's home, Logan expresses his deep feelings for her, acknowledging their challenges and his unwavering care for her and Ben. After expressing his heartfelt pain and regret, he exclaims that her brother didn't die for nothing and leaves while she sits by the dining table, holding onto the photograph handed her. She sits for a few seconds, trying to recollect the situation and contemplating what to do. After a few unsettling seconds, she is overwhelmed by the thoughts that are heavily flooding her mind. Logan has already walked out of the house and on the street holding a jacket on one shoulder and with a poor face full of sadness, emerging from the sorrow of his partner's death. After he had gained a few more steps away from the house, he heard his name being called from behind him, and he turned to see Beth running out to the street.
Logan, wait!
She then makes a turn in his direction and comes up to him and asks him not to go, saying that he belongs with them.
Don't go.
The film ends in a scene where Logan and Beth take a boat ride with Ben on a wide river, sailing into the horizon. 5. Love Actually, 2003. Here is a heartwarming ensemble romantic comedy that weaves together multiple interconnected love stories in the weeks leading up to Christmas in London. The film explores various facets of love, including romantic, platonic, and familial. Among the storylines are a newly elected prime minister falling for a junior staffer, a grieving father helping his young son navigate first love, and a writer finding unexpected romance while on a retreat. Other tales include a married man tempted by infidelity, an aging rock star attempting a comeback, and a couple developing affection while working as body doubles. The characters' paths cross surprisingly, showcasing love's complexities, joys, and challenges. The film captures the universal emotions surrounding relationships and the holiday season through humor and heartfelt moments. Its uplifting message emphasizes love's power to connect and inspire, making it a modern Christmas classic. One of the most memorable moments occurs when Mark silently confesses his unrequited love to Juliet on Christmas Eve. As Juliet was in her home sitting on the couch with Peter, there was a doorbell ring which she got up to answer. Juliet, who recently discovered Mark's feelings, is surprised when he appears at her door with a boombox and a stack of handwritten signs. Mark gestures for her to keep quiet so her husband, Peter, won't hear. He plays a recording of carolers as a cover, then holds up the first sign. One by one, he reveals his feelings through the words on the cards. He admits he has no intention of disrupting her marriage, but wants to express his love just this once, adding the now famous line, "To me, you are perfect." Juliet is visibly moved, her emotions shifting between surprise, empathy, and gratitude. After Mark finishes, he begins to walk away, seemingly ready to release his feelings. In a spontaneous moment of affection, Juliet runs after him, gives him a gentle kiss on the cheek, and wishes him a Merry Christmas. Mark walks away, smiling and whispering, "Enough now," signaling his acceptance and resolve to move forward. The scene captures the bittersweet nature of unspoken love, wrapped in the holiday spirit of generosity and closure. 4. The Vow, 2012. The Vow is a romantic drama inspired by a true story revolving around Paige and Leo, a deeply in love married couple whose lives are upended by a car accident. The crash leaves Paige with severe memory loss, erasing all memories of Leo and their life together. Instead, she remembers her former fiancé and her old life, causing confusion and tension. Determined to win back her love, Leo patiently helps Paige rediscover their bond, though she struggles to reconcile her past and present. As she reconnects with her estranged family and contemplates her choices, Paige and Leo face the emotional challenge of rebuilding their relationship from scratch. The film portrays love, resilience, and identity themes. Despite Paige never regaining her memories, the couple's journey highlights the possibility of rediscovering love through perseverance and understanding. As Leo was returning from a cafe that was closed due to the weather, he turned to find Paige standing afar in the snow-covered street. He heads to her, and she comes over to him. They start talking, and she tells him that she had moved back there 6 months ago, and she tells him where she was staying. As she thanked him for the resilience he had shown in helping her remember her past, he denied doing anything that mattered, and she started to explain how he accepted her for who she was, and not for what he wanted her to be. He then confesses to her that he wants her to be happy, which is what he keeps trying to do.
Thank you.
I didn't do anything.
You did everything. You accepted me for who I am.
She mentions that she's been talking to her friend Sonia. Her memories were triggered and also learnt that he was not seeing anyone. He asks her too, and she tells him she is not seeing anyone too. She then asks him if he'll go to a diner with her, and he agrees. He suggests they go to a new place this time, and as they walk away together hand in hand, the movie comes to an end. 3. A Walk to Remember, 2002. This film is a heartfelt romantic drama about the transformative love between Landon Carter, a rebellious high school senior, and Jamie Sullivan, a quiet, deeply religious girl, set in a small town as part of his punishment for a prank gone wrong. Reluctantly seeking Jamie's help, he gradually falls for her kindness and strength. As their romance blossoms, Jamie reveals she has leukemia and her condition is terminal. Despite this, Landon remains devoted, fulfilling her dreams, including building a telescope to see a comet. They marry in a heartwarming ceremony, granting Jamie's wish to experience true love. Jamie's death profoundly changes Landon, who grows into a compassionate and ambitious man. The film explores themes of faith, redemption, and the lasting impact of love, leaving audiences deeply moved by its bittersweet story. On a balcony, Lyndon and Jamie explore the stars with a giant telescope. Jamie spots a shooting star in the sky through the telescope and asks Landon to come over and see. He then looks through the eyepiece and realizes she is focused on a giant shooting star. He goes back to where he was sitting, and as he sits, he asks her if she loves him. Silently, she responds affirmingly with her wordless tone. Following this, he asks her if she's doing something for him. For this, she replies with the classic romantic expression, anything, waiting eagerly for what he would ask of her. And as an overwhelming anticipation came over her, he asked with a soft tone if she would marry him. His face lights up in the night, and an unexpected smile bursts out her lips. Landon recognizes the obvious yes and leans in for a kiss on her lip.
Will you marry me?
The movie's closing scene is the wedding ceremony, which was held at a church, and Landon narrates how it was the best time of life, spent with pure love and true devotion. 2. Titanic, 1997. Titanic is an epic romance and disaster film that follows the love story of Jack, a penniless artist, and Rose, a wealthy young woman trapped in an unwanted engagement. They meet aboard the RMS Titanic, the unsinkable luxury liner, during its ill-fated maiden voyage in 1912. Jack and Rose form a deep bond, despite their different social backgrounds, with Jack inspiring Rose to embrace freedom and reject societal constraints. Their romance is cut short when the Titanic hits an iceberg, leading to a catastrophic sinking. Jack sacrifices his life to save Rose, ensuring she survives by staying on a makeshift raft while he succumbs to the freezing waters. Framed in the present day, the story is recounted by an elderly Rose who reflects on her time with Jack. The film combines historical tragedy with a powerful love story, highlighting class, sacrifice, and resilience themes. At the ship's bow during sunset, Jack takes Rose to the edge of the Titanic's bow, guiding her to stand on the railings with her arms outstretched. "Close your eyes," he says, and she hesitantly follows his lead. As she opens her arms wide, feeling the wind rushing past, she exclaims, "I'm flying, Jack."
Flying!
The moment captures her sense of newfound freedom, a stark contrast to the constraints of her privileged but oppressive life. Jack steps closer, wrapping his arms around her waist as they savor the breathtaking view of the open sea. The golden hues of the setting sun bathe them in warmth, reflecting their growing bond. Their closeness and shared exhilaration lead to a tender kiss, marking the deepening of their romantic connection. Appearing as if an escape from societal expectations and embracing a carefree, adventurous spirit, stretches her arms wide, flowing in unison with the gushing wind and the one daring companion holding her from behind. They stand together at the front of the so-called unsinkable ship, unaware of the tragedy to come. The Notebook, 2004. The Notebook is a romantic drama centered on the enduring love story of Noah and Allie. Set in the 1940s, Noah is a working-class young man who falls for Allie, a wealthy and spirited girl. Despite their deep connection, societal differences and family disapproval separate them. Years later, Allie is engaged to another man, but she rekindles her relationship with Noah after seeing his restored dream home, a symbol of his love for her. The story is framed by an elderly Noah reading their tale to Allie, who is now suffering from dementia in a nursing home. As the narrative unfolds, Allie remembers their love briefly before her condition erases it again. Their bond transcends memory and time, culminating in a bittersweet ending where they pass away together. The film explores themes of enduring love, sacrifice, and the power of memories, leaving audiences deeply moved. One of the most iconic scenes in The Notebook unfolds when Noah and Allie reunite after years apart. Following a passionate argument at Noah's house, where emotions run high, Allie demands answers about why he stopped writing to her. Noah reveals that he never gave up on her, confessing that he had written her a letter every day for a year. This revelation shocked Allie, as her mother had hidden the letters. Overwhelmed by the truth and their lingering love, Allie storms out. Noah chases her to the dock where their earlier rowing trip took place, and their tension culminates in a raw and vulnerable exchange. They are soaked as the rain begins to pour, but the moment intensifies their emotions. Noah admits his feelings for her never faded, declaring, "It wasn't over."
It wasn't over. It still isn't.
It still isn't over. This heartfelt confession breaks through Allie's defenses, and she lets him pull her into a passionate kiss. The rain drips from their faces as they embrace, the intensity of their love reigniting at that moment. This scene captures the depth of their connection and unresolved passion, symbolized by the stormy weather. It marks a turning point in their relationship as they finally confront the pain of their separation and reaffirm their love. The raw emotions and picturesque setting make this moment unforgettable, cementing it as one of the most romantic scenes in cinematic history. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to get more videos like this one. Thank you for watching.